Right there. Come on around, Chris.
From the Empire State to the Golden Gate, this is Quad Radio USA.
Oh, yeah.
Now, with all the dirt from the world of ATV motocross and GNCC racing, here's Mr. 10 Seconds, Rodney Tomlin.
Well, hello, everyone, and good evening as we welcome you out to our first Quad Radio live broadcast of 2013, and we come live tonight from the River Ranch GNCC, round number 1 of the AMSOIL Grand National Cross Country Championship, the Moose Racing River Ranch GNCC, and we got a big night and a big week ahead of us as far as racing is concerned as we kick off the 2013 season, and we're glad that you folks are all on board with us as well. We want to say thanks to our friends at Tire Balls as well, your flat-proof tire inflation system, and Tire Balls, a huge part of this, and you want to see the folks over at Off-Road Motorsports right here at the GNCC trackside service bay to get all your tire balls, tire ball accessories, and everything that you're going to need. You can also email them at pat.offroad@gmail.com, and you can call them up 724-272-2998. We're going to be talking with Mr. Tire Balls himself, LP, Little Pat McGuire, who is also the XC2 Pro-Am champion, coming up in a little bit. But right now, we have got the 2012, the 2011, 2010, and if I'm not mistaken, 2009 GNCC champion on hand with us tonight, and that is none other than Chris Borch. And Chris, if you lean up here in the camera right there, they might be able to see you there. And hello, everybody listening on the World Wide Web to Quad Radio and Quad Radio Live, our second actual broadcast of 2013, and we do apologize for that. But now that the race season is about to get underway, man, we've got some big plans, and I know somebody else has got some big plans. Welcome along here tonight, none other than Mr. Chris Borch. Chris, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, it's going pretty good. I mean, looks like it's a nice day down here in Florida, and looking forward to it for tomorrow.
I know that you know about nice days here in Florida. You've probably spent plenty of them over the course of the last 4 or 5 months or so. I think rumor has it that as soon as you left Tennessee, you went down to the Daytona compound and began training, right?
We took probably 2-3 weeks off, got stuff all gathered up, and then packed up, rolled down there, and just been down there ever since. We went home for a little bit for Christmas and to the banquet, but other than that, we've been down here.
Wow, man. I mean, that's got to make you feel pretty confident again this year. I mean, that's something that you've been doing for years, a lot of years, right, actually?
Yeah, the past few years I've been able to come down, and we got a house right in Daytona, and I've been having a lot of buddies come over, pro riders, and just having some fun. That's
great, man. And who are some of the riders that spent the winter with you?
Spent the winter have been Johnny Gallagher, Chris Bithell, had Andrew DeLong down, Chris Bach, Gabe Phillips, Landon Wolf. Ended up getting a ride with some motocross pros as well, Chad Wienen and Thomas Brown this year, so that was definitely a lot of fun.
Wow, man, you had a big mix. I mean, we're not talking just four-wheel guys. You had a lot of the two-wheel guys out there, too, it looks like.
Yeah, we've been ripping it up. Andrew DeLong's been up my place quite a bit last year, and we have a good time. We're pretty much about the same pace on my track, so it's he's giving it all he got, and I'm giving it all I got.
So you guys go head-to-head then, right?
Yeah, let him lead, and it's everything for me to try to keep up with him, and he tries to get away, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and like I said, Chris Bach's been down too, and he's a good dude too. He's hopefully he does well this year.
Man, I'm just amazed at the camaraderie that has come along between the GNCC Racing Nation over the last couple of years. And I mentioned this, I think, to you earlier today, as a matter of fact, man. I think that compound of yours is kind of like meshing everyone together and bringing everybody together as friends. I mean, you're mortal enemies on the racetrack, but you're good buddies and great friends off the racetrack, and everybody seems to be getting along. That's good.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you get to ride with somebody and you just know them around, you be around them and stuff, it just makes it that much more fun to go out in the track and race with them. Like you said, it's not really a mortal enemy, but you definitely want to go out there and beat them and give it all you got. But like I said, it's definitely fun riding
Right.
with different people and having a good time.
And I imagine it probably makes the racing funner because when you guys get to spend that much time together, you really get to know each other, so you know where to push it and where not to push it whenever you're out there racing, right?
Exactly that, and I mean, it just feels, I try to put in my head, we're just out here practicing, having a good time, just out having fun.
Well, I know that you, like you say, I mean, you invited everybody down. You had two-wheel guys, you had four-wheel guys, and you even had some of your stiffest competition down, and that was last year's number 2 now, is Walker Fowler. He even spent some time with you, from what I understand.
Yeah, he came down for a couple days, and like I said before, he was a little different with the whole Bill Balance crew. I think they were just all hush-hush and top secret and just really never wanted to talk to anybody, but really getting to know him, came down to the house, and, I mean, we had a ball. I mean, just had fun riding together, just hanging out, goofing off, and I think he's changed a bunch as far as that. I mean, you can go up to him, and seems like anybody now can go up and talk to him and have some fun with him. So it's definitely pretty cool.
It is good to see that kind of change, and it's good to see you leading that change for the GNCC racers themselves, and I think it's great, man, and you're great. And, you know, we keep talking about all the great things. We talk a lot about, you know, records being broken, championships, and different things of that nature. And 9 championships is kind of what the goal is for you. You're at 5 right now, but, you know, I've been talking a lot about this. This right here probably, to me, seems to be bigger than even the 9 championships, and that is if you're able to, or win, if you are able to break the all-time wins record. If I'm not mistaken, you're sitting someplace around 59, 60, somewhere in that neighborhood, and we're like 8 or 9 race wins away from being the all-time winner, man. And that's got to be something maybe a little bit in the back of your mind, and that's got to make you feel pretty proud, that knowing that you're on the eve of that possibly happening in 2013.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not really thinking about that. I mean, I'm just going out one race at a time and doing my thing, and if we come close to beating it, and if we do beat it, I mean, it's going to be a huge accomplishment for sure. But championship-wise, I mean, we're just champion by championship and just taking it one at a time. And I don't know. It's been an awesome year last year, and hopefully we can carry it over and do what we need to do. And I feel confident in the team, the program, and everything that's behind me right now.
Now, speaking of which, I know there were a lot of rumors at the end of last year. Someone said you'd bought some Yamahas and were doing some practicing on those, and you were riding some Hondas and this, that, and the other. And there were a lot of questions, and I think maybe even Can-Am might have been even thrown around in there a little bit. But there were a lot of questions about what Chris Borch was going to be doing with Suzuki's, whether he's going to stay with them or not. And from what I understand, they've actually started producing again, or about ready to start getting production. And obviously, you saw that as your ticket to stick with that ride, I guess, huh?
Yeah, rumor has it they're supposedly going to be bringing a bike out. I honestly don't know. They just they're helping out a little bit this year, and the old Cycle Barn guy by me, we ended up working a deal through him for a little bit of parts and stuff. So that's definitely helping out. But yeah, as far as the Honda Yamaha type thing goes, I mean, I've tested them, and I'm trying to keep my options open. And we were talking with Yamaha a little bit, but still nothing came about. So I don't know. I'm back to where what I know and what I've been used to the past couple years, and still the same program.
Yeah, it almost had to be kind of spooky from your standpoint, knowing that you've got that program dialed in so well that, I mean, I know you've got a lot of confidence in your riding and everything, but still there's always that, wow, man, if I change, you know, what am I going to be faced with kind of questions, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we were doing lap times compared to the Suzuki to the Yam, and I mean, we were a couple seconds off, but nothing crazy that I couldn't tweak it on the bike. But yeah, I don't know. We're just looking forward to this year and getting it rolling and having some fun.
Well, you're not going to be alone in the Suzuki brand name there. I know that one of your good friends, Chris Bithell, has made the switch over to the Suzukis as well. Now, you guys spent some time together this winter?
Yeah, he's been down for about probably a month and a half with me, and he's been at the house riding, so he's looking pretty good on it.
You know, and something else that I've noticed in talking with him, he really seems to have that confidence level back. I talked to him. What he told me was he was happy to be mechanic and rider again. That's something that I guess he was kind of missing with the full-on factory production that he's been working with for the last 4 or 5 years. But he says he's glad to be back to being able to work on his own bikes and everything, and he's really happy and comfortable with that Suzuki program. I mean, do you see that as well? I mean, not just in what he told me, but do you see that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm in the same boat. Just, I mean, I do have a mechanic. He's been awesome, but there's still, I like to have the bike in my hand type deal and be able to ride it before the race, where a factory deal, you show up at the track and you got to just hop on the bike and go. So I can see where he's coming from there. I mean, he definitely puts a lot of time into his bikes and getting them ready. And, yeah, I mean, I've been riding with him quite a bit on the moto tracks and in the woods and hit a couple local races with him. So he's definitely on track. So hopefully it'll be a 1-2 Suzuki combo out there quite a bit this year, so looking forward to it.
That ought to be pretty cool. So let's talk a little bit more about the competition. You've been riding with a lot of them this year. I know I talked with Gabe Phillips, who's going to be moving up to the XC1 Pro class, and he said it just ain't fair. There should be a rule against Chris Borch because you're on a whole different level. But aside from that, man, I mean, that right there, and I told him, I said, you know, Chris Borch was in the same shoes that you're in right now whenever he was looking at Bill Balance a few years ago. It's a matter of believing in yourself and wanting something bad enough to go after it, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, if you put your heart and determination into it, you'll get where you need to be. And I got told one time before, there's that 1% of guys that can run up front and win races and win championships. And I was lucky to be that 1%. And I mean, I see a lot out of Gabe. I mean, he puts a lot into it, and hopefully things turn around. I mean, we've been riding on the moto track, and he's like, I want to learn how to go through the corners and do what you do. I need to figure out how to be the Borch speed or whatever he said. And I'm like, dude, it just takes time. I mean, it definitely just a time learning curve and everything about it.
It's not something that you developed in an instant either. It took some time for you, right?
Right. I mean, I started in B class and worked my way up through B, won the championship, A won a championship, and then still sitting in pro, and took me quite a few years to win a championship there. But once I got there, I knew what I needed to do and execute the program that I needed. It's like I said before, it's going to be tough to beat me because it's pretty awesome seeing that number 1 on your bike.
You don't want to see it go anywhere else either, do you?
No, I definitely like seeing it in my shop.
All right, well, tell me about the rest of the competition. I know, okay, so Walker's been there. Obviously, you know, you guys have been riding together. Gabe, Chris Bithel's been there, Johnny Gallagher. I mean, those guys that you've been riding with, I mean, tell me what you're feeling. And even the guys that you haven't been riding with, like Adam McGill and some of those guys, I mean, what kind of sense are you getting out of those guys right now?
From me, looking at it, riding with these guys, I mean, I've hit local races with them, the FTRs and stuff like that, and I think there's pretty much 4 guys out there that are going to be up front. What I can see, it's myself, Walker Fowler, Adam McGill, and Chris Bithell. I think it's going to be pretty hard for the rest of the crew to get up there, but there's going to be some days that they will be able to.
So who do you think the dark horse is out there? I mean, if you had to look back through it all, I mean, is there a rookie in the mix that could possibly stick his nose up there every once in a while? Or is there a veteran back there that could be sneaking into the picture every once in a while?
Oh, you can't count Sneaky Snake out. I mean, he's Jared McClure. He's always up in there, and even Brian Wolf. I mean, it's definitely. I think this track down here is just going to be who's in the best shape, who can hang on to the bike for 2 hours and just keep pushing, and that's what I see right now from what I've seen at local races and racing with people right now. I see the front 4, but there could be a curveball in there, and somebody else might come in, like Braden Henthorn or one of those guys. So you just never know. I mean, I'm just going to go out and do my thing and run my race, and I feel like I'm where I need to be. So we'll see how it pans out.
All righty, man. 13 rounds from now, where do you want to be? What do you want it to be like, right? And say in, I guess it'd be what, November, October, late October, I guess, huh?
Hopefully having a number 1 plate again for sure, and it'd be nice to, like you said before, get that win record, but we're not going to count our eggs before they're hatched, so we're just looking forward for tomorrow. Get out there, and it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be hot. It's going to be really dusty and dry, and it's going to be rough. So
that's the way we like it, though, right?
Yeah, the rougher the better, the hotter the better. So we'll see who's been training, see who's been talking, and see what happens.
There you go. I like the sounds of it. Any parting shots before we let you go tonight?
No, not really. I mean, just definitely my dad, my mom, all those, everybody, family, my fiance Dawn, definitely big help. My brother, just Maxxis is probably the biggest sponsor that definitely gets my program up and running, and I definitely wanted to put a big shout out to those guys. They definitely stepped it up and helped out a bunch, and got the best tire out there, so thanks a lot.
There you go, man. Got to like those boys over at Maxxis. Stop on down and see Dennis and the boys down there as we say farewell to Chris tonight anyway, and good luck to you tomorrow, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, that's Chris Borch, your four-time GNCC champion, getting ready to work on championship number 5. We got LP, Little Pat McGuire coming up next, our XC2 Pro-Am class champ, and also Adam McGill standing by in the wings. We got Jared McClure, looks like, in the house, so a lot of guys to talk to. And first and foremost, I want to say thanks to our friends at Tire Balls, your flat-proof tire inflation system. And you can contact Tire Balls rep Pat McGuire, 724-272-2998, and they'll be more than happy to set you up with Tire Balls at a discounted rate, 10% off if you mention Quad Radio. And speaking of Tire Balls, we say good evening and welcome to not only XC2 Pro-Am class champ, also Tire Balls man himself, LP, Little Pat McGuire. Pat, welcome to Quad Radio, brother.
Thanks, Rodney.
Well, it's good to have you along, and, you know, we talk about it, and we've even joked about it the last few years about how hard you work at Tire Balls, but now we know, man, this is kind of like your baby over here, right?
Yeah, I guess more recently, my dad's been trying to pass everything off to me. It's something that he's just wanted to do, and, you know, wants to leave me with something, so we've been working to, you know, put everything over into my hands. It just takes some time, you know. It takes a while to figure everything out and learn how to run the business like my dad does, and just trying. I mean, there's a lot of things you don't see behind the scenes stuff. So.
Well, there you go, man, and you're learning them, and you got a good guy to learn them from. That's good, and not only that, man. I mean, you this past season's been a totally different off season for you. I know in years past you've worked, you've gone to school, you've done a little bit of this and a little bit of training in the process. This year, though, from what I understand, you spent a good portion of the off season right down here in the sands of Florida, at least someplace south where it was warm enough to ride.
Yeah. A good friend, Billy Haupt, he let me stay with him pretty much for 2.5 months down here, and he actually gave me that bike at the end of last season, and I mean it's been awesome. I had to, you know, give up a lot of things to be down here for that long, but it's kind of what I wanted to do. I figured that I can't race forever, and you know, you only have a limited amount of time to make something of it, so figure just give it a shot while I can, and just have the opportunity to.
Yeah, take full advantage of it. You only live once, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you're a young man, and you can get a lot done. Now, with that, I mean, the extra time that you spent down here in Florida, man, I mean, and you said sacrifices. What kind of sacrifices did you have to make to be down here this year? I mean, because in years past, it seemed like you were sacrificing a lot just to come to the races, and now you sacrificed a lot just to practice this year. What kind of things did you sacrifice?
Well, I was going to school full time, and I decided to stop doing that, and I mean, also just working full time. Pretty much just was able to work part time here and there with Billy. He works at a car dealership, and I was able to run cars and do stuff like that with him. But so pretty much I just had to, you know, survive for a couple months on a pretty limited budget, and you know, do what I could to keep a practice bike together and stay riding while I was down here.
Wow, man, that's pretty cool. Now let's talk about the off season. So with the extra time that you had down here, I mean, are you a better Pat McGuire than you were, say, 365 days ago? I think you turned it off.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I mean, I feel really good physically. Mentally, it's just, you know, first race. I just want to get it over with. I don't know. I guess it's just something that I can't wait till, you know, tomorrow evening, whenever the race is over and we know where everyone stands. So.
Yeah, there you go. Now, it's a whole different scenario this year. I mean, coming into last year, I know you felt strong, you felt confident, and you knew that you were capable of winning, but the way it all happened here at round 1 last year, I mean, you took off and never looked back, man. I mean, that was a pretty spectacular show, and with that, a lot of your competition that you raced against last year has moved up, but you got a lot of new, fresh competition that's joining the XC2 ranks this year, man. Are you looking at the same kind of scenario for the Sands of Florida in 2013?
Well, that's kind of what's actually making me a little bit nervous is, there's new competition, and I have the pressure being the defending champion that, everyone's out to get me, and I'm kind of I feel like I'm sort of expected to do well because I haven't moved up to the pro class, and I still think I think it's gonna be maybe even harder this year with Landon and Bryson, and everybody else in the class is Matt Hanna. There's just a lot of fast guys, and just because I won the championship last year doesn't mean I'm gonna come out here and win every race like Walker did.
It's obviously a goal. It's something you want to do, though, right?
Yeah. I definitely want to win. It's what everyone wants, but I guess we'll see how it plays out tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. And so what are you expecting out of this season this year, Pat?
I'd like to defend the title. I definitely want to win the Pro-Am class again. And, if I did that, I'd be looking to move up to the Pro class and, just hopefully stick with it for a little while.
So that's kind of your goal, is to stick around the racing scene for at least a few more years anyway, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of, with the whole tire balls thing and stuff like that, kind of in too deep and can't really back out even if I wanted to. So.
Well, I guess you got yourself in a situation that is good then, and really.
Yeah, it's a good situation for sure.
Now, talk a little bit about tire balls, man. I know you guys install them and sell them here, but what else do you guys? You guys sell replacement balls, like single individual balls. You sell the pumps and the needles and everything you need to pump them up with?
Yeah, we sell everything that Tire Balls makes. During the week, if you need anything, you can give me a call and or send me an email. Get a hold of me or my dad, and we can get anything shipped out. I've been taking care of all the shipping and running the cars and that end of the business. So my dad would probably send you over to me if you got a hold of him. So.
That's cool. Now let me ask you about incentive programs this year. Does Tire Balls have much as far as sponsorship deals or anything? I know that sponsorship's working a little different this year, right?
Yeah, pretty much most of that stuff's done by now. Everything, contracts have been sent out, and really, Tire Balls is honestly cut back as far as discounts and stuff like that go. So, if you get offered 10% or 15%, it may seem less compared to other companies, but it's honestly,
grand scheme,
max discount that anybody's gonna get is 25%.
Yeah, so there you go. It is a good way to go, and you got to realize these companies got to stay in business too. They can't give all the product away, so that's a good way to do it, and they can spread it out more, give more people discounts that way too. So, and also don't forget, you mentioned Quad Radio, you get an extra 10%, right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't realize too. People just look at the Tire Balls and say, why are they so expensive? But Tire Balls has a lot of money in making all the tooling and everything to actually make the Tire Balls, and the labor to make them. So that's where a lot of the cost comes from too. It's not just the material.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on. Those people, they're doing everything military. They're doing search and rescue stuff. Anything off-road basically that you can get a flat tire on. Tire Balls, it's got an application for it. And you guys got them for the motorcycles and the ATVs right here at Trackside. Pat, I want to say thanks to you for coming out and talking with us tonight. And I want to also wish you good luck in defending your XC2 Pro-Am title. The question that I asked you last year that kind of freaked you out was, what does it feel like to be points leader? Now, before we go into the 2013 season, I want to ask you, what's it feel like to be champ and have to defend that number one plate?
It's a pretty similar feeling to being the points leader. It just seems like everybody's, expecting a lot from you and, definitely kind of gunning for you. So it's, I don't know, I guess it's a kind of cool feeling, but at the same time, it makes you a little bit nervous, on the starting line.
Yeah. Does that nervousness give you a little incentive? Do you use that do you channel that to ride with?
I guess so. I think I get a lot of incentive from, just working out here at Tire Balls and stuff like that, changing tires, and just kind of makes you want to do better whenever you're back here changing tires all day. And not having fun.
You want to go out and have fun. I understand that. Well, dude, thanks a lot. Any parting shots before we let you go, though?
Yeah, I just want to thank my dad. I mean, he's done so much for me over the years. Billy Halp, again, for letting me stay down here. Big thanks to him. Custom Axis, Tenda Tires. Duncan Racing stepped up this year, had some pretty sweet exhaust and pretty good run of motor this year. And just everybody else that's supported me.
Alrighty. Sounds good, everybody. That's LP Lil Pat, or Pat McGuire from over at Tire Balls. He's your XC2 Pro-Am defending champion as we head in to the 2013 season. And folks, we're not done yet. Those of you listening along online here at quadradio.com or on the Facebook page or on the Ustream page, we want to thank you guys for listening in. Those of you folks that are listening out in your motorhomes and everything, we appreciate you guys taking the time to listen in as well on 87.9. And we got a couple more guests. I'm going to move over here to the Mafia Man. How about Adam McGill coming up next? And Adam... Adam just did something I think rather historic as far as the Harlem Shake is concerned. I mean, of all the videos we've seen, I think that we may have just produced the largest contingency of Harlem Shakers here at the GNCC earlier this evening. Good evening, Adam McGill, man.
What's up, guys?
Not a lot. What's up? Your number's up. That's what for sure. You're up, what, number 5 now or something, like 6?
Everything's are up. Airplanes, umbrellas, antennas, all kinds of things are up right now.
Well, good. And the Harlem Shake, man. I mean, that's something that, if for folks that don't know, joining us here on the internet, Adam made the call out earlier this afternoon. He says, I want to do a Harlem Shake. I want to get 400 or 500 people, maybe 1,000. And obviously, you knew that many wouldn't come. I think there were probably close to 100 or maybe 150 people down there. There were a lot of people down there anyway, and you were a little bit surprised by that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was a little bit blown away. I mean, I didn't know how many people would actually come down and do it, but, you know, it just was on Twitter. I posted on Twitter, had it on Facebook, and just had everybody repost it, and everybody retweeted it, and it just seemed to start taking off and blowing up. And, you know, I come here actually yesterday and put up a post at a time, and it just kind of took off from there. And I went down there, me and Haley went down there about 10 till 5:30 or whatever, and went down there, and it was like, man, there's nobody